world, and welcome back to Stuff We Do, where we do all the knife stuff you love. Knife reviews, knife tests, knife modifications, and outdoor stuff with knives. Okay, today I have a history lesson, awesome knife, Fun Knife Friday, Braai Day, all of it in one. Okay, so first up, let's do some history. In 1910, on the 31st of May, South Africa became a union. Okay, which means that the four provinces back then, Cape Town, the Free State, the Orange Free State, Transvaal, and Natal. Okay, the four provinces came together and decided to become the Union of South Africa, because before that, the Zuid-Afrikaanse Republiek, or the South African Republic, was only the Orange Free State and Transvaal. Anyway, so 31 May 1910, if I can remember correctly, they became a union. And they stayed a union until 1961, 1960. I think 1960, 31st of May. Or 61, 60, I cannot remember. Anyway, and then after that, because remember, we were a colony of England, they kept colonizing us. Anyway, so then we became independent, we became a republic. Okay, now, yes, okay, that was a long way of explaining why this knife has a U on it. Anyway, now let's forget about that and look at the knife. Now, this is a sailor's knife. Okay, now this knife was issued to a friend of mine's father in 1968, which was after the union, but I suppose they still had these in surplus. Thus the M and the U. The M is for military and the U is for union. Okay, now this is a big chunk of a knife. Okay, let me quickly show you. Beautiful bail. This thing is still in fantastic condition. It's got this screwdriver, pry bar, whatever you needed, that for at the back. Beautiful Marlin spike that is still very, very snappy. Okay, this is to untie knots, to rigging bolts, to do whatever. Okay, 1,000,001 uses for a big chunky piece of spiky metal. And then again, sailor's knife were not always sheep's foot bladed. They initially started out as anything you had with you, so any type of blade. Okay, quick side story before we continue with this. The reason we have buck 112s today is because, okay, this, I don't know if this is true or if it's just like folklore or whatever, but the buck 110, the blade is 3.75, something like that, inches, almost 4 inches, okay, a bit more than 3.5 inches. And there was a fight on a boat, if I can remember correctly, somewhere in America. They had this fight, and then after that, the captain said, no, 3-inch rule, and then that's why the buck 112 Ranger was made, something like that. Tobias, if you want to know all of these actual facts, not something that a guy kind of remembers, go check out his channel, Knife Chats with Tobias. Anyway, he also showed one of these a little while ago. Okay, now, the blade on this. Beautiful sheep's foot blade, very sturdy, very rugged. Now, this one says Rodgers, Sheffield. Okay, and then we see the beautiful Rodgers sign there. I will have all the history about Rodgers, Sheffield, Joseph Rodgers in the description. Anyway, no, we're not also going to talk about Joseph Rodgers and his history. We don't have time for that today. We need to get to other things. But anyway, beautiful sheep's foot blade. Nice, sturdy, cutting rope, cutting things, whatever. Initially, they started using sheep's foot blades on fixed blades, so you can put it down on something and chop through thick pieces of rope. I suppose you can do it with this one also. Anyway, so there we go. Beautiful sheep's foot blade, rough gnarling, super chunky. This actually makes it fill the hand and makes it feel quite nice. Now, people have been speaking about these knives for a long time, but I quickly want to talk about the lanyard. Now, this lanyard was on here when I received it from Mr. Foster. Thank you very much, Mr. Foster, for lending me this thing for review. Okay, lanyards were initially issued with sailors' knives in England, if I can remember correctly. But the lanyard was like a flat piece of almost like mule tape or something that was attached to the knife, and then it would go around the sailor's neck. Okay. I don't know how many hung themselves on it and whatnot, but it was so they don't lose these things. Okay, now I normally attach the lanyard to my belt loop and then put it in my pocket, and then if you lose something, you're just dangling it behind you and not actually losing it. Now, remember, on a ship, it's difficult, especially if you're in rough seas, whatever. One hand is to keep you upright and keep you where you're supposed to be, and then the other hand is supposed to do whatever you're doing. So yeah, you can quite easily lose things if they are not attached to you. Now, I have never been a sailor, so I'm saying all of this on hearsay. Anyway, what I want to say is this is a fantastic knife, beautiful specimen of a sailor's knife. And this one was actually issued. Okay, now the history tracks like this. Mr. Foster Sr. was born 1950. Okay. He went to the Navy when he was 17. So 1967, 1968, he got this knife. Now, the Union, as I said, ended in 1960 or 61. Now, I suppose they made a lot of these things, and this was just surplus, because I have never seen one with a Republic of South Africa emblem on it. And that is me with my sailor's knife, Fun Knife Friday knife, lanyard stories and things. Okay, I'm going to braai now. Yeah, I'm going to braai now. We're just doing wors because the kids just wanted to braai marshmallows, and then I just had to braai something. So we're going to do that. Okay, I'm still on holiday, still rocking my Kahl braai knife. And then we're going to start the fire, have a braai, and then do a video. Or maybe you already saw the video, and then you know we're talking about Navy knives. Okay, we have fire. Now we're just waiting for it to turn into coals, and then we can braai. I haven't used this sharpener in quite a while. It's the Warthog V-Sharp Classic 2. Okay, so this thing is not going to work for you if you want to put a razor, sorry, I almost fell over, if you want to put a razor edge on something. Okay, but it does work fantastic for working knives. For example, because it's metal and it's rugged and whatnot, and it's quick. Let me see if I can show you this one-handed. Okay, so if you take this thing, put it against the guide over there, and then you just pull down and it opens as you do that. Okay, well, you're supposed to pull it through, but one-handed, see, that taps for this hand, that's holding the phone. This hand, that's holding the phone. Let's go there, pull it through a few times, and then it gives it a beautiful working edge. I've got it set on the coarsest one, I don't know what that is, and it's 25-degree angle, because that's a good working angle. Okay, the wors is starting to braai, but it's still very high above the fire. I'm going to drop it down now and just give it its last little finish. Okay, and I'm done. We have beautiful cooked sausage, and now we're going to eat hot dogs. And this is me for today. Stay safe, happy, and have a good one. Goodbye.